The live streaming has commenced. Good evening, councillors and officers and our viewers live streaming tonight's meeting. My name is Councillor Lena Messina and I'm the Mayor of Darebin City Council and the chairperson of tonight's council meeting. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to tonight's meeting. Due to current COVID-19 restrictions, this meeting will be held virtually and be closed to the public in the interest of health and safety of the public, councillors and staff. I declare this meeting open at 6:02 p.m. Acknowledgement of our traditional owners. Darebin City Council acknowledges the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung people as the traditional owners and custodians of the land and waters we now call Darebin, and pays respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Council pays respects to all other Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities in Darebin. Council acknowledges and pays tribute to the diverse culture and resilience and heritage of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. We acknowledge the leadership of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities and the right to self-determination in the spirit of mutual understanding and respect. The health and safety and wellbeing of our council and our community has and will always be paramount consideration of this council. Council continues to be guided by the government directives and wants to be able to do the right thing for the health of our community during the COVID-19 pandemic. This community and this meeting, is being held virtually in line with current health restrictions. Should technical problems be encountered by council, and the meeting may be adjourned until they are resolved with a maximum of 30 minutes. And if we cannot resolve the problem, we will reschedule the meeting. In such circumstances, an advice message will be shown on your screen. This meeting has been held live streamed and will be held live by link on the council website, so the public will be able to view the proceedings of this meeting. The meeting has also been recorded and will also be available on council website as soon as practical after the meeting. For the visually impaired community members, the closed caption feature will be available on the recorded meeting. There are a few housekeeping matters and technical tips for our councillors that I need to pass on. Please leave your video on and mute your sound unless you wish to speak. If you wish to electronically raise your hand, hover over the participants button in the main video window and then press the small hand symbol in the right-hand bottom corner. Please use this if you wish to ask a question or leave the meeting, so I'm aware of it. You can also raise your actual hand to get my attention. There is no chat facility available during this meeting for our councillors or general viewing. At Darebin, we pride ourselves on being a progressive council. In the interest of demonstrating leadership, I have high expectation that we'll be able to be professional in our conduct and language we use throughout the evening and respectful in debate. The chamber is virtually or in person. It's both a workplace and a public space, and we have an obligation to ensure that the work environment, public forums are a safe place for everyone, both emotionally as well as physically. Before we commence, I would like to introduce the councillors and senior staff who are with us this evening and to confirm councillors can see and hear each other. I will call out the councillors in the way I see them in front of me this evening. Can I please confirm? Councillor Tim Lawrence. If you can unmute yourself, Tim. Councillor Lawrence. You've muted yourself again, Councillor Lawrence, sorry.
I've already just said good evening, Councillor.
Good evening. Yeah, now we can hear you. Thank you. Thank you. Councillor Suzanne Newton.
Hello, Mayor Messina and everyone.
Good evening. Councillor Tom Hannon.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Councillor Trent McCarthy.
Good evening, Mayor, and good evening, everyone else as well.
Thank you. Councillor Gaetano Greco.
Hi, everyone, and good evening.
Good evening. Councillor Susan Newton.
I think you mean Councillor Rennie.
Oh, Councillor Susan Rennie, sorry. I'm being distracted by the Get Vaxxed virtual background that I'm admiring.
Oh, good. We'll just say it again, Get Vaxxed, in case anyone hasn't noticed.
Yes, Get Vaxxed, yep. Councillor Susan Rennie, thank you. Councillor Julie Williams.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming to today's council meeting.
Fabulous. I can confirm we have quorum, and I'm just noticing the Get Backs background that got my attention and had a little bit of distraction while I was looking at in front of me. I've got Susan Newton on the bottom and Susan Rennie on the bottom, and I'm just looking at the Get Backs. So welcome again. We can confirm that we have quorum, and our officers tonight: Sue Wilkinson, who's the Chief Executive Officer, Sam Hewitt, who's General Manager of Operations and Capital, Rachel Olivier, who's the General Manager of City Sustainability and Strategy, Kerry McGrath, who's the General Manager of Communities, Jodie Watson is the General Manager of Governance and Engagement, and thank you, and let's get underway. Before we address the rest of the council agenda, I have a few statements to make. Firstly, congratulations to Councillor Dimitriadis. You may have noticed that we are missing Councillor Emmy Dimitriadis this evening, and that is for good reason. Last night, Councillor Dimitriadis and her husband Sean welcomed their very first child, a healthy baby girl named Cleo Savannah. We send our sincerest congratulations and best wishes to the Nettleton family, and we look forward to meeting Cleo as soon as possible. And I look forward to further engagements with Cleo at our council meeting. So thank you once again and congratulations to Councillor Dimitriadis. I would also like to read a statement to honour a life of an important family member of our community, and that's Vince Pirotina. The Darebin Council and Darebin Advisory Committee were deeply saddened on the hearing of the passing of the long-standing Darebin Disability Advisory Committee member, Vince Pirotina, on the 23rd of September 2021. Vince was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy in the 1950s. He has never let his diagnosis or anything else stop him from pursuing his diverse interests. He was a scorer for his school sports team, an artist and a chess master. But first and foremost, Vince was passionate about making the world a better place for people with a disability. Vince was an accomplished and highly respected advocate, and he used his lived experience to inform his work. He addressed graduates who were just beginning their professional journeys and policymakers at different government departments, and contributed to the range of publication and teaching videos. Throughout his engagement, he supported the development of different caring roles across organisations. Vince took every opportunity to raise awareness of the work he was contributing to. He delivered interviews with the local press, participated in a range of projects, evaluating interventions for community members, and was active on many advisory committees. Vince was at the intersection of many initiatives and organisations to support the inclusion and wellbeing of people with a disability. Many of these, the Link Community Transport, Urella's Companion Card, Australian Ventilator User Network, and the Local Ventilator Accommodation Project. Continuing to this very day and benefiting for many other members of our disability community. For a long time, he was also Living Legends Accessible Ambassador, spending time with retired racehorses and paving the way for accessibility. Long-time Preston resident, Vince has first joined the Darebin Disability Advisory Committee, DAC, in 1994 as one of the original members of the Preston Disability Advisory Committee, and continued to be on the committee after the council amalgamation. During this time, he participated in many projects focusing on the improvement of access and inclusion in Darebin for community members with a lived experience of disability. His work was recognised, and in 2005, when Vince was awarded Joint Darebin Citizen of the Year, he was still participating in the committee meeting at the start of September 2021. He was one of the longest serving members of this committee, and we are so very grateful that he chose to commit so much of his life and acknowledgement to advising and helping us here at the Darebin City Council. On behalf of Council, I've also written to Rosanna, Vince's wife, to express our deepest condolences and sadness of his passing. Vince will be missed by all. We have had a privilege to meet him, his fellow members of the Darebin Disability Advisory Committee, council staff and council who knew him and worked with him. Valet Vince, And thank you for your immeasurable contribution you have made to our community. Item number 3, apologies. We note that Councillor Dimitriadis is an apology this evening. Item number 4, disclosures of conflicts of interest. Councillors and officers, are there any interests or conflicts to disclose or declare this evening?
No.
There are none. Thank you. Item number 5, confirmation of minutes of previous meetings. Councillors, could I please have a motion for the adoption of the minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on the 27th of September 2001. It's moved by Councillor Williams, seconded by Councillor McCarthy. All those in favour? That motion is carried. Thank you. Item number 6, public question time. Councillors, we will now move to over.
Mayor Messina, if I may interrupt, I'm having issues with my sound and I can't hear what people are saying.
You're having issues with your sound?
Yeah, I'm having issues with the sound. It's rebounding. It's become repetitive. And I
Okay,
can't
just
make out
one moment.
what
Yeah, just one moment. I will ask an officer to call you. Just one moment. Can we? Thank you. Thanks very much, Councillor Greco. Thank you. Okay, just one moment. In relation to that, I will wait for Councillor Greco perhaps to mute himself at this particular time. Councillor Greco, can you mute yourself, please? I'm expecting, thank you. Thank you very much. Now we'll move to public question time. Residents and interested persons were asked to lodge their public questions with council by 12 noon today. These questions have been circulated to officers for responses. During the meeting being held virtually, public questions received until 12 p.m. today will be answered at the meeting. Questions received after 12 noon will be taken on notice and written response will be provided to the submitter. Further, no submissions or comments will be able to be made on reports listed on the agenda. I will now read out the questions that have been submitted online and provide a response to the same. Please note that public question time will not exceed 30 minutes in duration unless extended by a resolution of council through a procedural motion, in which case it may only be extended for one period for up to 30 minutes. In the interest of brevity, I will generally only be reading the questions asked by the submitters as opposed to introductory comments, statements and opinions that are often submitted. Similarly, I have grouped together like questions. The minutes of the meeting will, however, contain the full submitted questions and responses. Just one moment.
Mayor Messina, I'm still having problems. I can't follow the
Okay.
meeting.
Well, then what we'll do at the
Oh,
moment is
It's just being fixed up right now.
so Councillor Greco, can I just confirm you can hear me? Councillor Greco? Okay, I will now ask for a motion I will adjourn the meeting for at this particular time. I will request that the meeting be adjourned. We'll wait confirmation from council staff until Councillor Greco can hear us. I wish not to proceed until Councillor Greco is there. Just one moment. Councillors, I might have to formally adjourn the meeting. The meeting is now adjourned until, say, 6:35 until we resolve the issues. May I request that the live streaming cease and all microphones be turned off until I direct otherwise, please.
I will now turn the live stream off and I'll let
Thank
you know when it has finished.
Thank you, Georgie. Thank you. Thank you, councillors. We'll wait until Councillor Greco is able to resolve his technical issues.